Hey folks, hope you enjoyed the podcast. This free teaser of the main episode features 10 posts, but you can get the full episode with an additional 20 posts, plus our witty banter and all that good stuff, plus fun segments like MGTOW and This Ain't It Chief, plus a preview of next week's episode, only over at patreon.com/reportthispost. Not only that, but there's an additional bonus episode every week for our beautiful patrons and other fun stuff, all available at patreon.com/reportthispost. Help support the show. It'll do a lot for us. It'll make us feel better about spending all of our goddamn free time looking up posts for your guys' amusement. And enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 137 of Report This Post, the podcast about bad posts and bad people. My name is Geiger. That is Christian.
Without the dark, we'd never see the stars.
And we are your hosts with the posts. Every week, Christian, myself, or a listener select a different topic and then find horrible posts for your listening pleasure. And this week's topic, as chosen by a listener named TJ as a gift for someone else named Nicole, is Twilight. And I should note this was chosen as a Valentine's Day gift, which says a lot about something.
Purchased way back in, I believe, January. So happy Valentine's Day, Nicole.
Yeah. Shows you the kind of backlog we got here for these user-selected posts, which should give you guys ample reason to go over to reportthispost.com and choose to buy a topic yourself. And by the time, let's say, November rolls around, you might hear the topic that you chose. We've actually had at least one listener say, "Oh yeah, I forgot I did that," which had to be a hell of a feeling.
Yeah. Just have your episode come out, hear your name on the podcast. How exciting.
Like, wow, I forgot I liked this podcast.
Never gets old to me. Every week when I listen to it, as soon as it's uploaded at midnight, refresh my phone, download that new episode that I recorded days earlier and don't remember a moment of. It's so exciting.
Yep. So that's what TJ's doing right now for his lovely bride, Nicole. I don't know. Probably not married. Certainly
what if they're not
now.
together? What if they're not together anymore?
Oh no! Or even worse, what if they were never together? And this was TJ's idea of securing Nicole. Well, that would actually be the perfect outcome for the topic of Twilight, which is a show about a book. And you know what? It's a lot of things, but it's not a show. It's a book, and it's a movie, and it's a lot of online bullshit, but there is no show involved with Twilight. Not yet. Anyway. Yeah. There's that has an Amazon series in the making feel to it.
Oh, yeah.
The movies felt like that. Did you ever watch the movies?
I saw the first two, I believe. What was that? Twilight and Breaking Dawn? Are those the first two? And, boy, not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
New Moon. Was that something?
I don't know. They felt very, very corny and low budget and overly melodramatic. I'm pretty sure I only watched them with riff tracks.
Okay, well that probably made it enjoyable at least.
Yeah, I seem to recall enjoying that back in the late aughts when such a thing was such a thing. All right. So yeah, don't know much about Twilight myself. I know that the ladies loved it. It was It was sort of the all the girls that were into Harry Potter, 7 years earlier. Because then these books started. I think they came out like right as Harry Potter was ending. So it was sort of like the natural transition into that stuff. Does that sound right?
It does, and it feels that way too. It has that kind of teen, even more teen, advanced level Harry Potter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible way to think of it, but a very good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of like mummies and werewolves and shit fucking this Bella lady.
Yeah, okay, so you don't remember. Okay, good.
But not a lot of that in Harry Potter. And by the way, we did a Harry Potter episode, if you recall correctly, right?
Yeah, we did. I'm gonna say it was 62.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Speaking of numbers, we're coming up on our 500th patron here pretty soon, and when we do that, we're going to do a very special Stormfront-only episode just for patrons once we hit that key number. So if you're not a patron, go ahead and sign up now so you can secure that bag, and then feel free to just stop being a patron right after that. Who cares? But where do you go to do that, Christian?
Patreon.com/reportthispost.
That's right, folks. Hey, you said the word post, huh? Why don't we just go ahead and start reading some posts here?
All right, I like the sound of that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, user Cherry Blossom Emoji posted, "My Twilight Renaissance to our Twilight."
Okay.
Because I'm reading Midnight Sun, which is the gender-swapped version of the first Twilight book, which has come out, which is
couple year ago or so, something like that.
Yeah,
2 years
last
ago?
year. Yeah. My best friend and I decided to binge watch all of the movies. I feel like I'm 15 again and in love with Edward and completely obsessed. And totally sad now that we finished the rewatch. Who else is feeling this obsessive behavior and sadness of watching the romance unfold and end? It just can't be me. I literally feel both obsessed and empty. I remember I felt the same as a teen. I'm in my late 20s and need someone to slap me. Ariel Bowden 3 replied, I feel like I'm the only lesbian in this fandom anymore. I'm just over here like Team Alice, bitches. Which is in reference to one of the vampires. Great. To which the OP replied, no, I've only dated women for the past 10 years, but something about Edward is still in the deep recesses of my mind. And Chaotic Good Character 2 added, yes, I'm bi. I got you, girl. I'm making a TikTok about bi characters, and Alice Cullen is fire emoji. And I just want to remind everyone that these are all adult women.
Yes, these are very adult women who will probably keep doing this until they die because they will never grow up.
Just like Edward. He never grows old.
Well, except they will die when they're 52, unlike Edward, who lived to be several hundred years old?
At least
Thousands?
100. At least 100 years.
Yeah. Do we have any lesbians in the Report This Post fandom? Is that a thing?
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know there's gay folks. Guys. Gay guys. I'm not talking about the guys that post the show.
So, well, all right. Now, what you're saying is being gay is humorous to you. Is that what it is?
Yep, sure is.
Yeah.
Just thinking someone has Down syndrome is humorous to me, too.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, being gay is pretty funny when you really get down to the nuts and bolts.
I'm a normal guy. I got one weird little thing, and it's like I like to get a guy's dick up my ass. It's pretty funny when you break
quirky.
It down like that. It's my little quirk.
I'm adorkable. I blow fellas. Well, speaking of all that stuff, user at Nico Maz from Twitter posted this recently. Twilight when it's about cishet neurotypicals, booing noises. Twilight when I make it about autistic lesbians, cheering. Rosalie and Bella are autistic and in love. Fuck you, Stephanie Meyer. So,
yeah, sure. Well, you know what? Why not? Who cares? The only thing I can see wrong with this is that women can't be autistic, and if they say that they are, they're just doing it for attention. So, fellas, remember that. If you ever meet a lady and she says she's autistic.
Yeah, that goes for any of their personality traits, yeah. Anything that makes them
It's genetically
different.
Impossible for a woman to have autism, and it's been proven.
The thing I don't understand about stuff like this, where it's like, the author clearly meant it to be one way, I'm going to completely change it. Like, how about you just write your own thing? Why don't you just write a story yourself instead of taking these things that are not what they are and then making them something else?
Yeah,
just make your own little gay autistic bullshit story. Do it.
They could still be vampires and werewolves, right?
Yeah, sure.
Of course they would be, but yeah,
get a fucking Loch Ness monster making out with a Bigfoot and be done with it. They're two dykes scissoring, you know.
Come on, man.
Just two, just very butch Bigfoots. Just,
I mean, that's kind of
69ing each other. Yeah,
that's kind of when you think of Bigfoot, they're already pretty butch. So
okay.
Bigfoot with the pink hair.
Speaking of, we did the McElroy Brothers podcast last week, which is how apparently you say that name.
Yeah, that's right.
We discovered that
a number of times.
I don't know how many times we said the name in that episode, but it was in the thousands, and we never said it right once. Never even considered that it would be anything than the way we said it, which I find to be pretty funny. But now looking back on it, it's obviously how it's obviously McElroy. That makes a lot of sense. But boy, and if you guys want to read some fun opinions about this podcast, go to the McElroy Brothers thread on Something Awful when it was revealed that we did an episode about them. And boy, did those folks had some opinions about this podcast.
None of them great. None of them quite positive, I would say.
Yeah, very few. We were called chuds. What a word.
Not wrong, but not wrong.
Vaguely racist was the term. And
I know that really upset you.
And homophobic. So wait, so I'm only vaguely racist, but like definitively homophobic? Is that the way?
Yeah, probably.
I would have said
that one was
the
probably
other
towards me. But yeah.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assumed I would say I'm more vaguely homophobic and like outwardly racist, but
okay, yeah, I know. You just gotta work on it. Keep up with your craft there.
Do my best.
Good, great. User 700 Calorie Bite posted, "My wife noticed something interesting in one of her romance novels on our books."
Okay.
She's reading Birthright by Nora Roberts, which was published in 2003. On the first page, she showed me the name of one of the main characters, Douglas Edward Cullen. I thought that was interesting, but not terribly noteworthy. Then later, she laughs and shows me the name of another main character, Jacob Greystone, a man who is 1/4 Native American. An Edward Cullen and a Native American Jacob in a book published 2 years before Twilight. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And a now deleted user replied, "I hate this woman. I don't just hate her, I dislike her immensely. She is to literature what as Soulja Boy is to music. She is that bad. Wow. She is a ripoff artist. Every single one of her damn books are a ripoff of something, and they're not even good ripoffs. The Twilight series is Romeo and Juliet shat on and strung out across 4 books. Her quote-unquote sci-fi romance novel, The Host, is essentially Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. On top of that, she can't even come up with original names for her characters. If Bella and Edward kill themselves in the final book, I will go and physically roll Shakespeare over in his grave in the dead of the night by the glorious, awe-inspiring light of Stephanie Meyer's books on fire. I swear to God, if I ever see Stephanie Meyer in person, I'll wait in line for hours just to get the chance to slap her silly. Maybe I'll knock some originality into her thick skull."
Brutal. I'm guessing this was before the final book was released.
This is from a number of years ago. Yeah.
Not only because of the last paragraph, but the mention of Soulja Boy, which is not something I've heard in a while.
A name I have not heard in some time.
I also I don't just hate her, I dislike her. Okay.
Strong words. Very strong words.
So this Stephanie Meyer, she saw a book, she saw Edward Cole, and she's like, oh, I like that. And then the next guy was Jacob's like, I guess I'm just going to use both of those. Like, you're not even going to...
This is mine now.
Yeah. What? You're not even going to try to pretend that those are going to be something new and original. You just straight up take those from another book. That's a bold move. I kind of respect it.
Well, I mean, she started off as that was her first book, and somebody picked it up and read it and thought, this is good enough to print. And, boy, it just caught fire. So good on her. Yeah. Stephanie Meyer is a lady that if I had 2.5 beers, I would toss her a bone.
Yeah, last week you said you would toss her a bone. There was no mention of beers, so it seems...
Yeah, but I'd be nervous. The beers are for me, my nerves, not the...
Oh, okay.
Not the... She's a famous person. I'd be so nervous.
That's really what it is, yeah.
And she's Mormon. I'd have to get over that.
Yeah,
somehow.
well, there's something special about that weird disease, Mormonism. So this
That's
is
where you're really tall, right?
Yeah. Pituitary issue, I think, right? This is from our True Off My Chest. I just found something outraging. Remember Taylor Lautner? Played Jacob Black in the trash fire that is Twilight. He dated Taylor Swift, noted for his abs, constantly sexualized by 30-year-old desperate housewives. Yeah, he was 15. 15 in the first Twilight movie. Not even out of the fucking womb, and he was treated as a sex symbol for fucking years. I thought he was like 22 to 25 in Twilight. Imagine my horror at finding out he was 15. After the first movie came out, all the tabloids said he wasn't buff enough to be Jacob. They wanted to recast. He wasn't hot enough. He doesn't look like the character, blah, blah, blah. He got the body in the second film after working on it to stay on the franchise. If it were a 15-year-old girl who was pressured into an eating disorder to become thinner by the media for not being thin enough, then sexualized by 30-year-old men, the media would be outraged. There would probably be an interview with Oprah or some other philanthropist about the poor mistreated girl. We see Taylor Lautner, a literal child, treated as a sex symbol. No child should have to be treated as a sex symbol. I am disgusted and horrified. A now deleted user said, feminism is about equality. And these alternating cap sarcastic things. No one really understood why he said that, which is why another deleted user responded to that with, that's just a thought-terminating cliche and classic emotional response along with a bit of gaslighting and the general empathy and agency gap. Which
it's
is
a what now?
That's just what it is.
It's a do what now, you say?
That's just what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy.
I love a good thought-terminating cliche combined with a classic emotional response with a dab of gaslighting and a general empathy and agency gap, which is what we just saw, I guess. Don't you love seeing those things?
Yeah, I do. Every day I log on and I say, boy, this is a terminating self-prophecy anal gap if I never saw one in my life. And I shut a car door on my hand so I can feel something again.
Mm-hmm. Then I roll the car door windows up with the garage door closed. Just
hose in,
drift
duct
off.
tape to my face. Yep. Yeehaw. Okay, 15 is fresh out of the womb, is according to this.
Interesting
this
idea.
here.
Sure.
Yeah. When I was 15, I couldn't wait for somebody to lust after my body, so I can only imagine that this kid was just eating it up, loving every second of it.
Yeah, that must have been an interesting time for that feller.
Yeah. I mean, dated Taylor Swift, for God's sakes. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he was 9 when they dated, and she was 20-something, yeah. She's a real freak. that Taylor Swift. See, now there's an interesting
before he was yeah, she got in on the ground floor before.
Yeah, she's 6'3" and she's carrying him in a baby Bjorn and just sucking his dick because he's upside down in the baby Bjorn.
Oh, that exists somewhere online.
That is a hell of an image right there.
That stinks, boy.
Well, speaking of stinky dicks, I think you have a post.
Yeah. Is it the post? Okay, you know what? I don't want to know. I found an interesting website called twilightintact.com. It is a very, very, very long text-only page, but I'd like to share some snippets, no pun intended, from it. The author writes, "This project grew out of my love for the Twilight Saga combined with my life's work, intactivism. I am a human rights activist focusing on keeping children intact, that is, protecting boys and girls from the harm of circumcision." Mm-hmm. So drop down a bit in the page, and there's a list of questions that I'd like to highlight some of. Okey-doke. Question: are the characters in Twilight circumcised or uncircumcised? Answer: only Stephanie Myers knows for sure, but as an intactivist and Twilight fan, I have my own theories. Edward, Emmett, Jasper, Rosalie, and Esme would be intact. Though born in the U.S., these characters were born before circumcision really took hold in the United States, and they would therefore be intact for the duration of their human lives. Question: what about wolves? Answer: wolves are intact, the natural state of all mammals. Question: what about the fact that Edward and Carlisle are doctors? Does that mean they are circumcisers? Answer: no, because 1. their respective personalities are founded on compassion and intuition, making them protective of humans. 2. they would never engage in the unnecessary bloodshed of innocent humans. And 3. they are Christians who have studied their religion and therefore know that circumcision is a violation of Christ's teachings. The Twilight Saga is a worldwide phenomenon precisely because it inspires fans to go beyond the book. So it is only natural that as an activist and educator, I was inspired to create this webpage. Just as in Breaking Dawn, resolution comes without bloodshed. I hope that readers of this page will be inspired to lay down their knives and encourage others to do so.
Yeah, that's all pretty sound logic there. And just a great idea in general to write all of that, plus a lot more.
Oh, a whole lot more. Folks, go check out twilightintact.com. Bring it up, and probably need to go get Netscape in order to enjoy it properly the way it's formatted. But take a look at it. It is terrific. So,
yeah, I've noticed. Boy, this is a crazy long website. Holy shit!
Yeah. Yep. Sure is. Sure is.
Wow. You can find him on Facebook at Celebrities Against Circumcision.
Which celebrities? Doesn't matter. Who cares?
They quote a website, JewishCircumcision.org. Interesting. Not sure what that means, but yeah. I feel like we did a whole circumcision episode, and I seem to recall that thematically and traditionally, anti-circumcision guys don't really have robust websites.
No. It seems like, it kind of seems like it's part of the thing. The websites are really cut down, surprisingly.
Which reminds me of reportthispost.com, which was coded by an uncircumcised gentleman. Same sort of vibe, really, when you think about it. This is from a woman on Facebook. Those Twilight books are so shitty that people still haven't gotten around to pointing out that native people are portrayed as being werewolves, and that's probably kind of racist. A friend of hers responded, "Really?" To which the OP said, "I don't know, actually. I couldn't really watch them all the way because I didn't like them. I just saw that natives were werewolves, and I was like, what the fuck is this racist nonsense? Maybe it's okay to portray native people as magical beasts?" Really just gave up on that idea.
It's just like, I feel very strongly about this thing. It's like, really? Why's that? No, I don't know, actually. You know what? On second thought, I changed my mind.
Even the slightest bit of pressure, you know, I don't know. Not even, just like, yeah, think so? Well,
yeah, this thing that I paid half attention to, and then as soon as I saw Native Americans, I was like, whoa, this seems racist. That there's don't know why.
Yeah,
obviously, if there's a person of a different skin color, it's obviously racist.
Yeah,
it's somehow racist.
But there's also white people are magical beasts in the movie too, right?
Sure. Yeah,
it seems just a lot of magical beasts of some sort in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of funky stuff going on, but nothing cool.
Yeah, Native Americans they get the shaft, they get the intact shaft in this one
because they're wolves and they don't. Yeah, I get it. Good. Books and Butterbeer posted this on Tumblr. So here's my problem with Twilight Critics. They hardly ever talk about Meyer's representation of the Twilight tribe. They go on and on about her writing style or the fact that her vampires sparkle. Edward's sparkly alabaster chest is a pretty trivial thing to critique in contrast to Meyer's ruthless appropriation of an indigenous culture. Why do we keep neglecting the fact that Stephenie Meyer took an existing Native American tribe, rewrote their entire history, and gave them a new mythology that was extremely, quote-unquote, othering? I mean, I know actual Native Americans were cast in the films, and that made people happy. But was it enough to absolve Stephenie Meyer for her gross misrepresentation of an indigenous culture? Ugh. I just think this is a conversation more people should be engaged in, and it's happening in some places, but I wish I saw more of it on Tumblr. And to be honest with you, I don't know where else you would see it other than Tumblr.
If you're not seeing it on Tumblr, you're not going to see it anywhere else. That's the spot to see it. So it's just not going to happen, lady. I love the whole, like, well, I know they cast people and they were happy about it, but can we still be pissed off at her? Just, please.
Can I just be mad at her? Yeah, just I need something to be mad at, and right now I'm obsessed with Twilight. So
I'm going to guess this lady found other things to be mad at.
If she's on Tumblr and she's talking about having conversations, guarantee that she found something else to be mad at.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, speaking of, I found this on Tumblr.com. Me, age 13. OMG, Team Edward. I love Twilight. Team Edward, Team Edward, Team Edward. Me, age 16. I fucking hate Twilight. Never want to see it again. Get it away from me. What the fuck was wrong with me? Me, age 18. OMG, what the fuck? Twilight isn't so bad, but why was I ever Team Edward? He's so abusive, and controlling Jacob is clearly the superior choice for Bella. I'm Team Jacob forever now. Me, age 20. Jacob is the epitome of the, quote, nice guy who plays heavily into friend zone culture. Bella has, on multiple occasions, told Jacob she has no romantic interest in him, yet he continues to pursue her, even forcing himself on her against her will. While Edward has exhibited abusive and controlling behavior, he stands in contrast to Jacob. Jacob will not stop pushing Bella to admit she has feelings for him, while Edward takes the high road and doesn't engage in Jacob's childish and harmful practices. He does his best to protect Bella from harm and protect her ability to choose a human life or a life with him. What is really interesting is the Team Edward and Team Jacob culture that was perpetuated by this fandom when Bella Swan was the protagonist. Bella was essentially erased from the narrative by fans who wanted her with either Jacob or Edward, and her choices were narrowed down to a controlling emo 100-year-old vampire or a whiny man-child werewolf. I am Team Bella Swan, and I support her ability to choose the life she wants.
Oh, boy. Cool. Personally, I'm Team go to therapy.
Yeah.
That's...
I think one of the top responses to this was like, it's not that deep, man. Just like,
yeah, you need to...
Just shut the fuck up. Please stop thinking about this. Stop making all those words come out of your computer about this thing. Please stop it.
Think about anything else.
I implore you to just Do something else.
Yeah, there's really is. I mean, it's a real humdinger when somebody decides to put effort into and writing all of that out. That's boy, good on them, I guess.
We got a few more posts that are long and stupid. Can't wait to get to them.
Yeah. Well, how about one here?
Great.
So Twilight could be considered occult to some, I guess. So I headed over to our favorite occult site to get some insight on how we can be more like our favorite characters. From spellsofmagic.com, I present Twilight Werewolf Spell.
Okay.
You will need the following items for the spell: an open mind, an open voice, and daytime. Chant this spell 2 to 4 times or more if you would like. Gods, goddesses, and spirits of change in life, I ask with simple request. Let me be a wolf of the twilight. Let my enemies who stand against me be filled with fright. I wish for my life to change. I wish for my life to rearrange. Gods, goddesses, and spirits, allow for this for me. So mote it be. Side effects of this include transform at will, run faster, hit harder, jump higher and farther, see, hear, and smell better than any human can, and no negative side effects.
Nice.
So, if you're Team Jacob, there's a spell for you. If you're Team Edward, how about Twilight Vampire Spell? Become a vampire like the ones in Twilight.
Cool.
You will need the following items for the spell. Nighttime. Say once at night, has to be dark. Spirits of the undead, I ask you to please turn me into a vampire. My skin will be like granite unbreakable. I will get 3 special gift, which will be blank. I can feed on both human and animal blood. I will be more beautiful than I was. If I bite a human and leave it alive, the human will begin turning into a vampire. The transformation will be painful and will take 3 hours. I will have super strength, super speed, super senses. My eyes will be bright red if I drink human blood and golden if I drink animal blood. I will sparkle in the sunlight if I want to. My teeth will be unbreakable. And this is my will, so mote it be. Mm-hmm. And the author added a postscript here. Message me with side effects, please. So good to know. I also found a spell called Twilight Vampire Spell Better, which the only difference between this one and the other one is that you say the beginning 10 times at night. So really drive it home there.
Boy, so the exact same spell, but 10. You have to say that whole thing 10 times?
10 times.
I don't know if it's worth it.
And somebody probably did.
Well, it's like, so when you do the first one, you do it just once, you become a vampire. But like, so it's 10 times to be a better. Is that a sliding scale? You know what I mean? What if you said it 5 times? Is that also good? Or is it 1 or 10?
Yeah, I think it's a 1 or 10 on this one.
Well,
and side effects unknown, so it's kind of like it's an experimental drug kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kinda.
That's such a... Look, I'm putting this out there. You guys let me know what goes on. I'm not going to try it out. So, you got any crazy shit happens when you read this, please let me know so I can add it to
I'll let you know. I did read it at night.
That's true. So we'll see what happens.
I read it one time, so we'll see.
Well,
I wake up with a hard alabaster skin.
Yeah.
If I sparkle in the sunlight, if I want to.
The Jacob spell, it says chant it 2 to 4 times or more, which is really seems a little too loosey goosey for a spell of magic. I gotta say. Look, you can do it. You can do it 2 times. You can do it 5 times, 10 times. Who gives a shit? Just hey, you got nothing else going on tonight. Just do it.
What? You're on spellsofmagic.com. I know you're not doing anything else.
And it seems, there's no negative side effects. So, just go ahead and do it. If you want to run faster and be able to jump high in the air and transform whenever you want to whatever, I guess. Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? You'd get sexualized as a 15-year-old, I think. Which
that's bad.
So... This is from Facebook. I don't blame Bella one bit for wanting that vamp dick while still human. God, can you imagine Edward Cullen with his vampire strength throwing you around on the bed? The hardest fucking of your life. Knowing that he could kill you with one hand would just fucking add to it. God, can you imagine if he fucking choked you? My God. Not only that, but he could do all the fucked porn moves. The man could hold you up with one hand while he pounded you. He could absolutely demolish your asshole if you let him. He broke that bed, but how easily could he break you? Personally, if he snapped my spine while pile driving this pussy, I wouldn't be the tiniest bit upset. He would be so horny for you, too, your blood being like heroin to him. He wouldn't be able to get enough. Maybe he would just suck you dry as he fucked you. A toy and a meal all in one. So. Yeah.
And this was posted to Facebook, you said?
Yeah,
someone posted that on Facebook?
This is on Facebook, yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious me, oh my.
Yeah, so that was... People like to share stuff on that app, as we've discovered. We really enjoy telling folks what's going on.
Boy, they really do. Yeah, they do like to share a lot. Yeah. Too much on a place where your aunt can see you talking about Edward Cullen destroying your asshole if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Just eliminating your use of your legs because he pile drived your pussy, you know.
Yeah, I have to wear this colostomy bag because Edward Cullen, the vampire from Twilight, blew my O-ring out. But it was worth it.